Okay, hanzi wakaregister kuvota chikomana chipinde Triple C President Nelson Chamisa Zimbabwe oye oye.
Good morning, good afternoon, Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for joining. We are live on yet another special edition of Change Radio. And I also know that we are live on ZimEye YouTube, ZimEye Facebook. We welcome you, all our viewers around the world, as we discuss yet another corruption deal here. Emerson Mnangagwa, the Zimbabwean president, has been fingered in yet another corrupt deal, as you are seeing there from the headline there, Spin Cash. Leo, if you can adjust the camera there, the Spin Cash scandal, where the name of the Zimbabwean president has been dragged yet again. This is, of course, before the dust is even settled in the gold mafia, famous gold mafia that was exposed by Al Jazeera, that documentary. And now we are also getting revelations of the Chrome scandal or Chrome mafia. This is what we were saying, Zimbabweans, that this is what we were talking about. Leo, can you please adjust the camera here? We are not seeing anything properly. There we go. There we go. So I was saying, we before the dust is settled on the Al Jazeera gold mafia, Al Jazeera documentary, we are yet in another scandal for the chrome that is being mined in Zimbabwe. We had said that what is happening in Zimbabwe, what is happening with the gold scandal is just the tip of the iceberg. These people are not looting gold only. They are also looting other minerals. They are looting chrome, they are looting lithium. But today we are talking about the chrome scandal that we just heard. So Zimbabweans, Can someone tell me whether you can hear me here? Because I'm like I'm speaking to myself. Leo, can you just give me confirmation that everyone else can hear me?
Okay, we can hear you, Chief, and everything is okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. You can bring back the document as well and just put it on the other side. So we have had just revelations here that Emerson Mnangagwa was involved with the South African business person, Moti Holdings. I'm going to talk about, just give you a brief background of who Moti is. Zunaidi Moti is a South African business person, very controversial business person. He has been involved with Jacob Zuma, corrupt deals, corrupt activities, and now he's also very closely involved with Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa might even lose his job because of the corrupt dealings that he has with Zunaid Moti. You might also want to know that Zunaid Moti was once arrested in Germany over an allegation that he had stolen a 500 million rand diamond ring that belongs to a Russian business person. So this is the kind of a person that you are dealing with. He's a thief. He does illegal deals in all minerals, and he was also involved in another illegal deal in Germany where he had a partnership in a platinum mining conglomerate or mining organization, platinum organization there. So this is the man that we are dealing with. He bought a chrome mine in Zimbabwe, for $120 million. And for that deal to go through, millions of dollars were paid into Emerson Mnangagwa's bank accounts and also into the accounts of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. And this is something that we've always said, that Mnangagwa, there are people that were arguing that Mnangagwa is a businessman. Before 2017, people were saying Mnangagwa is a fine businessman. And we were saying that Mnangagwa is not a businessman. He is a dealer. He doesn't do anything. All he does is he sees a deal in Zimbabwe, an opportunity, a mining opportunity, another business opportunity, and then he gets investors to come in, and then he gets kickbacks. Kickbacks, in other words, are briberies. He's being bribed. He gets bribes from these multi-million-dollar organization. So in this case, he got a $3 million kickback. He got a bribery worth $3 million for this deal to go through. And also for this deal to go through, there was also another man who was bribed or who received a bribe. And that really gets interesting, because this is a high court judge who was bribed $100,000, which went to his personal account, and the evidence is there that the High Court judge did receive this bribery, and that's High Court Judge George Chiweshe. And you will remember that George Chiweshe was that High Court judge who was approached by ZANU-PF after the illegal coup, or the coup, no coup. And when he was approached, he declared that what Robert Mugabe had done was illegal, that he had illegally fired Emerson Mnangagwa. And it was George Chiweshe who actually legalized the coup. He said that the coup was legal, and therefore that paved way for Emerson Mnangagwa to come back into the country. And for his efforts, Judge Chiweshe got $100,000. So Zimbabweans, this is what is happening in your country. Leaders, political leaders, are being given bribes to facilitate deals, and these deals will also be involving other Zimbabweans. Like in this case, with Kuda Tagwirei as a director, in that company. But what pisses me off, sorry to use that word, what makes me mad is that the money that we get from all these deals, it never comes back to help Zimbabweans. It never trickles down to ordinary Zimbabweans. It's money that goes into the pockets of a few people, Emerson Mnangagwa and his cronies and his family. And also talking about his family, you also see in this document that his son was also involved. He was given a job, as an advisor, as an investment advisor or consultant. And then you ask yourself, does he have the qualities, the skills, and the qualifications to advise and to consult at such a high level? Where did he get the experience? This is a young man who is in his early 30s, and we have very qualified, highly qualified people in that regard. Were there any adverts that were flouted in our newspapers advertising that job, or that Emerson Mnangagwa Jr. was just pinpointed by his father, and then he got that lucrative job? Then he got that lucrative consultant job, because he was actually being paid $10,000 a month. And we know that it kept being increased, because it started as $5,000, and then within 2 months it was doubled to $10,000. Who knows? It could have ended up $20,000 a month. So this is another clear case of nepotism. Just that on itself, without talking about the corruption, without talking about the bribery, just that nepotism in many countries, in countries that respect, ethical behavior, that talks about ethics in their government, President Mnangagwa would have been fired. He would have lost his job just like that, or he would be investigated right now. But this is Zimbabwe. Emerson Mnangagwa can just take his children, appoint them, not even appoint them, instruct them to go and represent Zimbabwe, in many institutions or government-related businesses. As you saw, recently, Emerson Mnangagwa Jr. And the other twin brother and Axilia Mnangagwa, negotiating on behalf of the Zimbabwean government. And if you see the picture, I don't know, Leo, if you have that picture, you will see that they were seated on one side, and the other people were seated on the other side, and there was a Zimbabwean flag. Typical, very typical, government meeting where government business is being discussed. In what capacity were the twins in that government meeting, government to government meeting? In what capacity was Axilia sitting in that government to government meeting? So we are seeing a lot of nepotism, what we call chikamalism, that is being done by Emerson Mnangagwa. And that is apart from the bribery, the kickbacks that he takes, what we call in Shona, chioko muhomwe, vanhu vakaimba vakati chioko muhomwe chanyanya, kuti ndipe chakati ndikuitire zvakati. That's how what that means. What that means. Quid pro quo. If you're talking here in America, that do this for me, and then I do that for you, and that's what Emerson Mnangagwa has been doing with our minerals. Not only our minerals, he's also doing that with our land. He parcels out land to the Chinese to the Russians to South Africans, as we are seeing now with Zunaid Moiti, and then he gets money out of that. That money never comes back to help you. It never comes back to the Zimbabwean economy. The money just goes in his pockets, in his coffers, not even in Zimbabwe. You know, now we wonder why we don't have enough foreign currency in Zimbabwe, because all the money is just taken out of the country and banked in Swiss accounts, in Dubai accounts, in offshore accounts, and it's stashed there. So this is very disheartening, Zimbabweans. We might take these things lightly, and we might also say it happened after all. It happened in 2017, in 2018. That's the picture that I was talking about. You can see the officials from Borussia and their flag there, and Axilia Mnangagwa and his twins. If you push it, you see that there is I'm not seeing the twins there. There are some. It's supposed to have the twins. I think they are on the other side. But that's what is happening. Our country is being run at a family level. You know, Zimbabwe is being administered at a family level. Emerson Mnangagwa, the twins, Tungai Mnangagwa and Axilia Mnangagwa are at the helm. But what makes me mad, what makes my blood boil, is that as Zimbabweans, we are seeing this, but we are not doing anything about it. And don't ask me, don't say, what can we do? There is a lot that we can do. You see a picture like this and you don't get angry. You see, Zimbabwe being represented by the mother, by the sons, and the husband. And there, in the other country, there's people from different different ministries, different departments. But us, we are being represented by a family. This is, pathetical. This is pathetic. We should not be allowing this to happen. So I was about to talk about what we can do as Zimbabweans, because after talking about corruption, after talking about what is going on in Zimbabwe, after all the exposés, after all has been said and done about the gold mafia, now the chrome mafia, we have already had the diamond mafia, where we saw $16 billion, worth of diamonds, just disappearing. And I know that we have more minerals that are being looted. Remember, Zimbabwe is 53 minerals, and all those, we don't know what's going on with them. And we continue to say that Emerson Mnangagwa's hand is there. It's everywhere. So we are being looted everywhere, left, right, and center, in all the minerals that we have in Zimbabwe. But what can we do as a nation? And what can you do as an individual? As an individual, please make sure that you spread the word about the massive corruption deals, everything that is happening. Do it at your own personal level. Send messages to your family groups, send messages to your community groups, communicate with your family members, because your family members are the voters that we are looking for. They need to know, every voter needs to know that we have these corrupt activities, and that Zimbabwe is where it is. Zimbabwe is, on its knees as we are speaking, not because of sanctions, as ZANU-PF always make us believe, but because of these corrupt activities, because of these corrupt deals. So make sure your family knows. Make sure your mother knows. Make sure your father knows. Why do you want to be told? Why do you want your mother, your father, your grandmother to be told where to vote by a chief, by a sabuku? Unodirei kuudzirwa mai vako, nababa vako nehama dzako iwewe kuti dziende kunovhotera Emerson Mnangagwa iwe uripo. So this is at a personal level. This is something that you can do. This is something that you cannot shift responsibility to Chamisa or Triple C or any other political leader. This is something that every Zimbabwean should be able to do. You can do your own voter education, at your family level, at community level. So let's begin to do that. And then as communities of Zimbabweans in the diaspora or everywhere else, there is also something that we can do. We can come together and, do flyers, posters, and post them anywhere, send them to Zimbabwe, get them made in printed in vernacular languages. If you are from Mashonaland, get your flyers made in Shona. If you are from Manicaland, get someone to make your flyers in Chinyimanyika. If you are in Blawayo, get the flyers done in Ndebele, in East Ndebele, like that. And then we send those flyers, flying everywhere. They get dropped in rural areas, from a growth point, later the flyers get there. And if you don't have the means of distributing them, that's the easiest part. Get in touch with us, get in touch with Change Radio, get in touch with Zima, get in touch with me. And there are a lot of people that are prepared to do that for free. You don't have to pay them. All you need to do is to get the flyers printed. And that way, you're not giving your money to anyone. When you're giving out something, you're giving it to, as flyers, not as money. So you will not lose anything. So please, let's come together. 4 or 5 people can come together, and you make your 100,000 flyers. 100,000 flyers will cost about $900, because it's about $90 per 10,000. That's something that you can do. And then, of course, as Zimbabweans in the diaspora, we escalate this. We are now acting as Zimbabweans. That's when we have the demonstrations, the mass protests. They mustn't be one-off. I know we protested at embassies on the 18th of April and beyond, but it should not end there. We need to do more than that, more than just one protest. For you to be heard, for people to be heard, we need to continue demonstrating. We need to have continuous demonstrations all over the world, so that we spread the word about what is happening. I like the campaign that is already started in the United Kingdom, and it's not only for the people in the United Kingdom. Even you who is in Europe, in America, in Canada, write a letter to the British government, write a letter to the British Parliament. Tell them that they cannot continue to invite Emerson Mnangagwa to these high-profile events, because then they are aiding and abetting corrupt activities in Zimbabwe. This man is corrupt. This man is stealing from the Zimbabwean people. This man is a mafia. Is a money launderer. And which country want to be seen, want to be doing business with an international money launderer? So we provide the evidence that money is being laundered in Zimbabwe, and we don't know where that money ends up. Maybe it's the money that will end up promoting terrorism in the United Kingdom, in America. So we need to make these countries aware that by continuing to prop up Emerson Mnangagwa, they are also endangering their citizens one way or another, because Emerson Mnangagwa deals with the Russians. He deals with the Chinese. The Chinese and the Russians are, sworn enemies of America and the United Kingdom. So really, America and the United Kingdom should be concerned, if not worried, really worried about what is going on in Zimbabwe, because we don't know where that money that is being laundered in Zimbabwe is coming from, or we end up, in. So please, let's put pressure on the British government so that Emerson Mnangagwa does not, step his foot in the United Kingdom at the inauguration of the king. That's something that we can also do as a community of Zimbabweans in the diaspora. Beyond that, we need to continue calling for an international investigation, a forensic investigation into all these allegations. Of course, they remain allegations, but we have had enough evidence. We have enough evidence, to prove that the president of Zimbabwe, the so-called president of Zimbabwe, is involved in these corrupt activities. Really, in a normal country, you would have resigned, you would have been pushed out, and that's something that I now want to talk about. That after we have called, for those demonstrations and the international forensic investigation, who can do that? Obviously, it can come from our parliamentarians. We will need to see our parliament being active. It doesn't matter that our Triple C members or members of parliament are few. Let them speak up. We want to see them speaking up and raising the issue of corruption, and continue to raise it. Sometimes even putting parliament business to a halt until the issue of corruption is addressed. An investigation committee is set up. They need to push for that. But this is not about Triple C members of parliament only. If you are listening and you are ZANU-PF, you are here. This is something that you should be saying, you know what? I need to do something about this. I need to take part in this. And similarly, members of parliament from ZANU-PF, they need, if they are Zimbabwean enough, if they care about Zimbabwe, if they love their country, they love Zimbabwe, as they swore when they came into parliament, they should be able to call a spade a spade. They should be able to call out Emerson Mnangagwa. When are we as Zimbabweans going to mature to that extent that we can just, we have members of parliament from ZANU-PF saying, you know what, this is not about ZANU-PF. I'm not going to think like a ZANU-PF member of parliament. I'm starting to think right now like a Zimbabwean, a concerned Zimbabwean, who is seeing that the country's resources are being looted. You think we want our members of parliament to get to that extent, that they remove party lines and say there is a wrong that have been committed there, and they all stand up and condemn a wrong for what it is. That's the reason why people of Zimbabwe, even when we vote, when you nominate parliamentarians right now as we go into this election, we need to think about those things. What kind of parliamentarians are we putting in? Are we putting parliamentarians that think about their party first, that are whipped into a party position, that will never criticize something that has been done wrong by their political party? We need to confront our parliamentarians, hold them accountable to that extent. We need to ask them those questions. We are electing you right now. We are nominating you right now. When you see the president of ZANU-PF, when you see the president of Triple C, when you see the president of MDC, when you see the president of your party or a senior leader in your party, are you going to be ethical enough to tell that person that this is wrong? Because that's the sickness that most Zimbabweans have, that us as Zimbabweans have. We can't tell our leaders. We can't hold our leaders accountable. And yet we call ourselves the most educated, the most literate country in the world. But we allow, leaders to get away with murder. Someone commits murder tonight, and tomorrow he's addressing you in parliament. He's addressing you as a leader. Someone is accused of serious allegations of child abuse or sexual abuse or rape. And that person, you see him tomorrow addressing you as if nothing happened. A person is accused of massive looting that involves billions of dollars, and that person is made to go scot-free even by his own people. Come on, Zimbabweans, we can do better than that. And I'm speaking to you, a member of parliament from ZANU-PF. I'm speaking to you, Murakash. I'm speaking to you, a card-carrying member of ZANU-PF? What are you thinking right now when you're seeing the country being looted the way it is being looted? And you still have allegiance, you still swear allegiance to a political party that is destroying your very own heritage, that is destroying the future of your children, the future of your children's children. It's not right. Think about it. As a Zimbabwean, put Zimbabwe first. Think as a Zimbabwean, not as a ZANU-PF supporter. If we call ourselves an educated nation, if we call ourselves a literate nation, that's where we should be. That's where we should be. We should be thinking like that. We should be thinking along those lines, saying this is wrong, and you condemn it for what it is. And Zimbabweans, if you can't do it in parliament, if we are not going to do it in parliament as we finish, if we can't do it in parliament, then let's do it at the ballot box. Let's show these people that we know what is happening. We know what they are doing. We know that they are stealing. We are aware of the looting, and the evidence is there. There's no more evidence that you want. Don't listen to Dr. Mavaza. Don't listen to all these ZANU-PF Marakash who will be trying to come and tell you that white is black or black is white. Don't listen to them. We have the evidence already. We have seen what we have seen. We know what we know. So let's do what is within our capability, our power, our mandate. That is to make sure that we vote ZANU-PF out. You go and vote, a person whom you know is going to make a difference in your life. If you can't go and vote, that's fine. But there's still a lot that you can do. You can influence tens and tens of people, hundreds of people, if not thousands of people. If you just, exercise your power, the power that you have, especially you, my colleagues in the diaspora, you can change the political dynamics in our country. You can contribute to change, even in the comfort of your home in London, in Birmingham, in Massachusetts, in Canada. You can influence change in Zimbabwe by just talking. Word of mouth is powerful. We minimize it. We undermine word of mouth, but it is powerful. All you need to do is to talk to your people, talk to people, find a way of, getting through, educating, telling them that what is happening is not right. Zimbabwe is on its knees right now. No medication in the hospitals. The hospitals are in a sorry state. Our roads are in a sorry state. Our infrastructure is crumbling every day. And yet we have millions, if not billions, that are available, that could be used for that. We need to tell our parents that. We need to tell the people that we are suffering right now, but we have money. They should never listen to the ZANU-PF rhetoric that we are where we are because of sanctions. We have seen, we now know that it's not sanctions, it's corruption. And the word needs to be spread. We need to spread the word everywhere. And it begins with you and me. Let's do this, Zimbabweans. 5 more years with Emerson Mnangagwa means 5 more years of looting, 5 more years of these chrome mafias, 5 more years of gold mafias, 5 more years of diamond mafias, 5 more years of this suffering, 5 more years of the crumbling infrastructure. But if we do something right now, it means we'll begin 5 years of prosperity with President Chamisa, 5 years of good roads, 5 years of medication in our hospital. We'll begin, a journey to proper schools, quality schools, with teachers that are well remunerated, nurses that are well remunerated in our hospitals and clinics. This is something that we can do. Let's do this. Like Joe Biden said in one of his famous speeches, let's finish the job. We have worked hard for 4 years, if not 5, close to 5 years. Now it's time to finish the job. Let's do the best that we can, Zimbabweans. Thank you so much for coming to hear me lament. I just had to vent because it's what is happening is not right, and it shouldn't be right by you. Let's do something. Thank you. Until we meet again in other programs. God bless you.
Ulilima wapuma, lekupinga wapuma, ukwekwe wapuma, ukokwe wapuma, zegeza wapuma, mukoba wapuma, kutijamisa imari, achatotungamira Zimbabwe, umbizo wapuma, kwa mutoko wapuma, kariba wapuma, umula wapuma, usaka wapuma, ikita wapuma, kutijamisa imari, achatotungamira Zimbabwe. Vashandi vose vapfuma, kutijamisa imari, achatotungamira Zimbabwe. Dare takara, diaspora yapfuma, kutijamisa imari, achatotungamira Zimbabwe.